So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the light.
Well, hello, welcome to the Subway JPW podcast, a podcast designed to keep you connected and informed. My name is Mike Lentini. I am the Chief Operating Officer for the Subway JPW territory, and this is Brandon Wilhelm, the Business Development Agent for the territory. Today, we have one topic for you, not three. We thought we'd get a little lazy, so we're just doing one topic.
Quick thing, yeah, we got to cover some of the key initiatives, and I guess we're calling it one topic under key initiatives, but there's several different parts of that.
That's fair.
Happy August, everybody! The summer has flown by. We're obviously in back to school mode, whatever that is right now, whether it's virtual or in person, but. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Are we going to do Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader again?
Oh, we should have done, yeah.
We should have done that.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
We can pick up another outfit.
I don't think so.
So
With no punishment for the loser.
No punishment?
No consequence.
That's no fun. What's the risk in that? So what are we going to talk about on the key initiatives?
So key initiatives, there's three specific things we're talking about. The first one is closing guest comments. The second one is OSAT score. And the third one is around sandwich artistry. None of these key initiatives are going to be news to these guys. None of it is going to be necessarily new to you. But we are going to talk about where we are, what our goal is, and maybe we should back up and say a key initiative. We've talked about it as the other phrase we've used for the key initiative is big plays. And a big play is just a way that we focus on a particular key initiative. And if we accomplish that key initiative, then the goal would be that it would add to franchisee profitability. Okay. So I'm going to take OSAT scores. Brandon's going to talk about guest comments, and we'll come back to me for sandwich artistry. So OSAT scores, first of all, what is the OSAT score? It is the overall satisfaction score from your guest comments, from those Subway Listens comments from the guests coming into our restaurants after their visit. They get a survey request, or they get the survey request right from their receipt that we hand them in the restaurant. So our goal is to have 50% of the restaurants in the territory with an OSAT score of 70 or higher. So what does that 70 or higher mean? 70 just means that 70% of the surveys taken, the customers rated you the highest. So 1 through 5 rating, they rated you the 5, highly satisfied.
Highly satisfied.
Yes.
We want everybody to be highly satisfied. So obviously, ultimately, we want 100%.
Yes.
to be have an OSAT score of 70 or higher.
Yes.
But a little bit about that number 70. That's just the industry standard. That's the industry average for QSR, right? Right now, Subway is at 68, and the industry standard for QSR is 70. I think we want to beat our competition. We're in a competitive industry. We want to be better than 70, really. We want to be obviously as close to 100 as we can, but that's something that's really important. It's direct consumer feedback. The OSAT score is your customer telling you immediately, hey, here's your report card for my visit. It's straight projection onto profit and sales and all that kind of stuff. The higher satisfied customers, the more they're going to come back and the more money they're going to spend. So when we would track a similar metric, the NPS score, and we would compare it to compliance points and sales index, and what did we see? We always saw that those with the highest customer referral scores, whatever we're calling it, had the lower compliance points, the higher sales indexes, the lower food costs, even high, in some cases, even higher add-on sales, which I think that all makes sense. Yeah, and in general, the higher NPS scores is what the old metric was. Now we're talking about OSAT, but it's relatively the same thing. It's still that customer feedback. The higher you score with your customers, we're talking about what we've seen is between the bottom, the lower end of the score totem pole to the high end, like a 4 to 6 point difference in index. Mm-hmm. That's real money. So you're talking about actual, if you would take a 5% interest or 5% index improvement versus what you did last year, you would take that in a heartbeat. So. Yeah. That's something that the OSAT scores are something I would love for our territory to be one of the highest scoring territories in the nation.
And I think we can be.
So at July, we were just under 40%. So when I mentioned that our goal is at 50%, that's kind of our first benchmark. Of course, when we hit the 50%, we're going to jack that goal up to 75%. So to Brandon's point, we've got some of the best franchisees, we've got some of the best managers and sandwich artists, we believe, in the country. And so we also believe that we are going to see these scores higher when we're looking at the rest of the country.
Now, obviously, some of the feedback that I've gotten from franchisees talking about some of this stuff is, some of the complaints we get are not our fault. They're about the app. And there's a lot more app orders right now. So those people get that immediate feedback, or they get that immediate request to do a survey. And so that can affect our OSAT scores. Okay, so that feedback has been given to headquarters. I want you guys to know that. But again, I've talked about it however many times. Control what you can control the controllables. Yeah. What we can do in our restaurants is encourage every guest to give us feedback. Encourage every guest to take the survey in the stores. If your teams are encouraging every guest to take the surveys, then naturally they know there's a higher likelihood that they're going to get a survey, so they probably are going to give even better service, and you're going to get higher scores that way. The more, the higher survey intake, the higher our scores are typically. So encourage your people to get those guests to take the surveys. Big time.
Yeah, good point. So that's key initiative 1. Key initiative 2 is all about closing guest comments. Brandon, I'll let you take that one.
So our goal is to close 100% of all guest comments within 24 hours. That may sound aggressive, since it used to be 72 hours. But if you think about it, how fast do you want to get a response when you put in a comment for any retail establishment or whatever? You want to get that feedback or that response back right away. So that's our goal. And in July, we did awesome. We had 99% of the customer comments in our territory closed out within 24 hours. So
way to go.
Hats off to you guys. Good job on responding back to those and closing out those comments. I've said this before. I believe the stat is on McDonald's franchises that they get back within 90 minutes. So I want to beat McDonald's. I want to get back, that may not always be realistic, but now with these special little internet devices in our hands all the time, we get a comment from our stores, we can handle it almost instantly. So let's get those numbers down, get those, again, anything that is direct feedback and direct relationship with the guest, something we need to take care of very, very quickly.
Yeah, yep. And we've said it before, when we are getting back to our guests quickly, we are silently communicating to them that we value their feedback. And when we're ignoring it or waiting 3 or 4 days, we're silently communicating that we don't really give a rip about that feedback. So
let's hit our goal. We did it. We got 99% last month. Let's push it to 100, and let's shorten that time even more. So keep up the good work in there, and let's get it done.
Very good. So last key initiative is all around employee onboarding, specifically sandwich artistry from Subway University. And our goal is to have 100% of our sandwich artists in the territory with Sandwich Artistry 1 completed. Why? Because we all know that if we implement that into our onboarding process, we're going to have better trained employees, period. So in July, we are just at 70% of the sandwich artists have Sandwich Artistry 1 completed. That's very, very good. It's a good number. And I believe we're going to get to 100% by September 1st. And we should probably, now this specific key initiative, there is some compliance attached to it. There's also some restart funds attached to it. So let's talk compliance first. So compliance was August 1st, that all employees, including franchisees, have Sandwich Artistry 1 completed, okay? Fast forward to, or switching gears to the restart funds. The restart funds, in order for you to believe it's the last phase of that $700 portion of the restart fund, for you to qualify for that, 70% of our sandwich artists have to have Sandwich Artistry 1 completed.
Right. By September
1st.
Yeah. Basically end of August. So we got a few weeks left to take care of that.
Yes. So,
and this includes franchisees.
Yes.
So This includes the two of us.
We're on a race to finish
We're
it,
on
too.
a race to finish it. We have been bringing up the rear in our organization as far as our the restaurants we own, but we are going to complete it. And I have taken the class and gone through the classes that the percentage that I've finished so far. And I can tell you, if you're skeptical about it or you haven't done it, it's much better than the previous Subway University classes.
Sure.
It's much better, much more engaging. We got to get it done. Our people will be better trained, and we'll hopefully have better experiences and better operations in our shops, which translates to higher sales and profits. So
Yeah, absolutely. So what about going forward then? What happens after restart and all that? What happens when we hire someone new in November, for example? All new hires after August 1st, really, are going to have 30 days to get it completed. Now, if you're like many franchisees that I know, it's a process that we have in place in our restaurants that once that employee, that new member to our team gets hired, they're taking Sandwich Artistry 1 within the first 2 shifts of them working. So they're coming in, they're coming in to meet the rest of the people they're going to be working with on their shift. They get a restaurant tour, they have a meeting with managers, and they're sitting down, they're taking Sandwich Artistry curriculum. So I would highly recommend you implementing that process. So 3 initiatives: OSAT, closing comments quickly, and Sandwich Artistry 1, all 3 that we believe, if accomplished, add to your profitability. Okay. Any questions on this? Your field consultants are a phone call away. Don't ever hesitate to reach out to them for a resource. And Brandon, I'll let you close us out and send us on our way.
obviously, it's been a interesting year, going back to March. So the whole COVID crisis has changed a lot of things for us. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do an FLC this year because we just it's not appropriate or even available to do that kind of large in-person group meeting. So, which is unfortunate. We are gonna obviously try to do something like that as soon as things get back to whatever normal is going to look like. So we do believe in those things. We do believe in in-person meetings. We believe in connecting and sitting around tables and talking, and eventually we'll get back there. But we're gonna, as part of this show, kind of throw back a little, some flashback series to previous FLCs and some of the better parts of those, and hopefully some of the most, more inspirational and parts and learning and best practices. And so we're going to make sure that those things are available to you here. So again, hope to see you guys soon. We're going to probably set up some Zoom calls, things like that for the remainder of the year to get some more best practice sharing and that kind of stuff going. So thanks a lot for hanging in there, and we appreciate you all.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Subway JPW podcast, a creative approach to communication designed to keep you informed, connected, and equipped. To receive notifications when new episodes are available, select subscribe below. Thanks for all you do, and continue to create great.